Halo. Halo, selamat Kakak. Waalaikumsalam.
Hello. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Sir, before you begin,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there's a problem in my portal.
Okay. And what is the
Did,
problem?
did you make attendance yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
So here's my attendance isn't showing, sir.
Okay. You marked the
Yeah.
attendance, right?
No, sir. I thought you did it.
Arey Baba. No. I'm not going to mark your attendance. You have to mark the attendance.
Sir, I submitted the MCQs, so I thought
No. See,
we done automatically.
how the thing works is MCQs are just a proof that you are present throughout the session. Okay, you are available in the session throughout.
Oh.
Okay, you have to
Sir,
mark the attendance at the end of the session once I generate the attendance. Got it?
Sir, I tried it manually, but it said that the session was ended.
Yeah, I'll start the attendance and you can end the session. While you're ending the session, you'll get the link. Like you'll get the access. Anyone who marked the attendance, can you explain it to your friend?
Yeah, I'll try, Surya. So actually, Amir, I'll remind you once when the attendance is created, but actually we just need to go to student tab. In that there's attendance, and when the attendance is created, we'll mark it after giving them. I'll remind you.
So I cannot do it now, right?
No, it will need to be created. And like he was saying, the MCQ is just to prove that we are actually attentive. But at the end, the attendance will be created.
Okay. So, sir, is it any way that you can create the attendance now so I can submit it?
No, it's not happening. It is going to be happening at the end of the class.
Okay, so what will happen, sir, now? Yesterday's attendance. I attend the class, but I cannot submit it.
Okay. Initial days,
Mm.
let me talk to people who can do this. Or else you can raise your ticket saying that you forgot to mark the attendance. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That will work.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Guys, just give me 2 more minutes. I'll just start the class. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm back. Okay. Let's start the class. I think all of our friends are present. Okay. So, guys, there are two things that I must make clear about. One, you must mark attendance in order to go forward in your curriculum. Okay. Attendance is must and should. Though you're answering your MCQs, you have to mark the attendance. And attendance is going to be raised or created at the end of the session. Okay. Once again, it will be created at the end of the session, and I'll update you on once the attendance is created. Okay. And second point is like I have spoken to some of your friends, and Ronaldo, your number which you have given to attend you is not working. Ronaldo,
What number is that?
I don't know, double line something.
No, what is it regarding?
Regarding feedback and all, they wanted me to talk with you once just to know what's going on and all. We'll connect at the end of the class.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. And okay. So regarding the ratings part, just go with a thing, and the feedback must be given. Everyone must give their feedback. Whether whatever they fail, they have to give the feedback. Must okay. Feedback is a must thing. Now, so that's pretty much, I guess. And again, someone I have spoken with has asked me about Git. So, guys, just I want to give you a brief on Git, and then I'll start today's class. Okay, today's class is nothing but an introduction, which probably aim for an hour. Okay, so today's class, if I start as it is, it will end at 10:15. But since we have a lot time to go with, what we'll do is we'll just brief our topics what we have discussed yesterday on Git. Okay, so what is Git? Can anyone specify? What is Git? Just for 10 minutes, a brief on yesterday's topic. Anyone? What is Git?
Version control system.
Okay, again, that is again a broad answer. Yes, it is a version control system. Helps us work and store our work remotely. So wherever you have internet connection, whenever you have an internet connection, you can plug in, get your code, update, and plug out. Okay, that is how the Git going to help us. And there are many users. It also helps us in project management. It also helps us. There are multiple Git alternatives of Git. Is like Atlassian, Bitbucket. AWS Cloud Commit. These are alternatives, and there are many other, but these are main mostly used alternatives of Git. Okay, so they are mostly paid versions or enterprise versions. They can be free or they can be paid to some extent. And again, so what we have learned yesterday is like we have created a folder in GitHub. So before this, we have created our account, Git account, and installed Git in our local, and then created folder in the GitHub. Now we, in order to make this GitHub remote folder, we have made it, sorry, we have used two process to make our local folder as a Git folder. What are the two process? Can anyone specify? In order to make our local, our file system folder structure into a Git folder, what are the process that we can do? Anyone? So one is cloning the code. clone will make the code, whatever it is in the GitHub account, into our local folder structure. That makes this folder a Git accessible folder. What is that? A Git accessible folder. Okay, if not the cloning part, we can also do git initialize and series of commands. Git init initially initializes the git the folder which have utilized this command for into a git accessible folder, and from there on we can do a series of steps to make to create, commit, add, and push our code into our remote server or GitHub account, right? So the commands used to push, the commands used on the changes we made are going to be initially git add. What is this used for? What is the use of git add?
To move folder from unstaging to staged.
Yeah, there are, okay. Again, there are 4 stages. Okay, first one is untracked. That means initial creation of the file. And second stage is going to be what? Modified. Third stage is going to be staged. And next, committed. And final stage is what? We'll push this code to GitHub, right? So these are all the stages. Whereas modify refers to changes that made to file we created. That is stage called modified. Whereas staged is nothing but once we add the file into, once we use this command and add the file, it says that, Are Baba, the file which you are going to send, you have to give the file name, right? File name. So whatever the file we are adding, it is going to be a Git Git related folder or Git related file in that particular folder. So this particular situation is called staged. Okay, and then what you have to git commit. What is it used for? What is the purpose of git commit? Anyone? Git commit का use क्या है?
It will save the changes.
Exactly. It will save the changes with a message representing what we have done in it. Okay. It will save changes. So initially where it saves the changes?
Locally.
Yes, it will save the changes.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
Sir, I can't attend class today. If I have to attend, I will be attending at 10 o'clock because I'm in a feast, so it will be late, I think.
Okay. No problem. You
Sir,
can leave and you can join back if you want to.
Okay.
You can have the video in the morning
Okay,
just to get
sir.
how it
How
works. Yes.
related to the GitHub, sir?
What is that?
Yesterday you said not to up to date to GitHub, push to GitHub.
Yes.
Sir, I have done that, sir.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
And okay, let me complete this first. So save changes locally and also helps us to track changes. How can we track changes by using git commit? Because based on the commit message which we are going to give here. So this message which you are going to use when committing the code helps us see what we have done in that particular version or in that particular uh, change which we have made. Okay, is that clear in the git commit part? Now let's get back to next command. Once the commit is done, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to push the code to the GitHub or remote server. So GitHub git push -u origin, and we have to specify the branch name here, whether it is master or your own branch, whatever the branch it is, you have to specify the branch name. So what this command will do? Guys, what is
This
this
will push
command?
the code to GitHub.
Yes, now code is being pushed to server or GitHub. Okay, so next, before adding and all these things,
So can you also explain the concept of fork afterwards? GitHub fork. Therefore, okay.
Hello.
So you got muted.
Yeah, you are asking some doubt.
I'm asking about the fork. Therefore,
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. No problem. Just get we'll have a recap and then we'll get back to fourth part. Most of, I think 7 guys have, no, 6 guys has given the fork and asked for merge request. That's nice. At least some of them has tried on their own. Okay, now let's see. Next, these are all basics which we are going to do with respect to the code. And with respect to the changes which we made, we also use Git status. What is the use of Git status?
To see the commits are staged or unstaged.
Okay, it will give messages regarding commits and also on which branch we are. Okay, this is Git status. And how about Git pull? So we haven't used Git pull as of now because there is nothing from, but you have created pull request virtually using GUI, right? So Git pull is again another command which you must try on your own. Next, Git clone is, so what is the use of clone? With some HTTP URL. What is the use of clone here? Git clone.
Give the copy of the data from the online to our local server, sir.
Yeah, it initializes. Okay, here comes a major question on what your friend has been asking. Okay, so there are 2 different ways which we can work on a different folder. That means, let's say I have created a GitHub account and I have some work done in a repository. Okay, and you guys want to do the same work or you want to extend the work in that repository, right? So in that case, we have 2 steps. One is cloning the code and the other is forking the code. Okay, so git clone allows us to create a local repository of online repo. Yes or no? By clicking git clone, what is it? What is that happening? Guys, git clone करने से क्या होता है?
We'll copy the repository from
Yeah,
cloud to local.
it will copy the repository from cloud or from GitHub server to our local machine. Whereas fork is another beauty which helps us copy. Before that, we'll just say helps us create a copy on GitHub. So what's the difference between clone and fork? One is working on local system, whereas the other is working on server itself. Are you getting this point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now what you can do is I'll show you an example. 1 second. Let me show you the example on that. Hmm. Screen share desktop. Okay, Is this visible, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, see here. Uh, okay. One second, let me just done there. So there are few guys who have already sent the pull request. One is Amir Ali, Imtiaz Ali, and Salil Baurai. Fine, nicely done. This part is okay. Now let's see here. I just want to let me just go back to another GitHub account. Okay. So guys, let me just share the screen first. New share and desktop. Okay, so this is my GitHub of Eternum. Okay, so now let me just do one thing. I'll create a new repo, new repository. Name is test1, public, and create repository. Okay. So now let me just get back to test1. So I just simply want to fork this thing. That means I want to do some changes to this particular account. Okay. Initially, what I'll just do is I'll copy all these commands and I'll run one by one in the terminal to create a local repository into this. Okay. Also, other than that, we can also do the forking thing, right? So I just created. Now let me get back to another account. So this is my account, new account. So let me just check for suryateja@tiny.com. Instead of sample, Eternum. Okay. Users. So he have this particular thing. Now test1 is my new created in the Suryateja Eternum, and I'm trying to access it from Surya 16695. Okay, so now let's just get into this repository. Okay, this folder is initially empty. So in order to do some changes or in order to make something added to this, we have to add a file in the root repository and then we have to fork it. So let me just add a file to this code. So once the file so name of the file is going to be test.txt as usual. And in this, I'm going to add a sample text for just understanding. Okay, I just made some lines and let's say commit message simple commit and commit new file. Okay, so now what just happened? I have created one file in the suryateja-atnu slash test1. Now let's get back to our repository where we are trying to access that particular test1 repository. It is saying that it has some file in it, right? Which is test.txt. Now see, fork is now can be accessible. If I click fork, okay, what just happening? Forking suryateja-atnu slash test1 into my local account. That means I am the owner. Surya16695 account is owner for test1, but this branch is up to date with this particular branch. What is it saying? It is creating a copy of that particular branch of some other GitHub account into our local changes. Now let me just edit this file. Edit. Surya has edited it. Done. Now let's say commit changes. What just happened? A commit has been created, and how many contributors are there? That means how many people are working here? Two people are working here. One is Surya Teja and the other is Surya 16695. Okay, these two people are working on this particular file. Now, once this is done, what it will happen is if we get back to the GitHub account of original one, and if we reload this, okay, so since the change which is already available here is still representing the same of the particular Surya Teja file. But what we have changed in the Surya 16695 is hasn't been added to the original file. Now what we have to do, we have to create a pull request. Okay, new pull request. So what is this pull request saying? The name itself says, right? So we are asking someone to pull our code into their repository. That is what the pull request refers to. Okay, so now what is it saying here? Just read, go through the lines. Choose two branches to see what the change to start new pull request if you need. Okay, this is just an introductory part. Now see here, base repository is so and so, and the base main branch is main, and now head repository. That means what we are what repository we are working is Surya 16695 slash test1, and compare is again comparing with main branch. Okay, so now here we can check for the edits we have made to that branch. Okay, the changes have been done with respect to you people who have created the changes. Okay, I saw that the changes are good. Now what I'll do is I'll just create the pull request. So it must require a small comment because the owner who is going to merge this whole code into his repository must know what are the changes we have done. Okay, so I'll just say simple changes for fork. Okay, and now what I'll do, I'll just create pull request. So checking for our, this what we'll do is the Git has its own software which will check for merge conflicts. Merge conflict is again, let's say I have added a line, right? Surya made the change. Now this particular line will be, let's say you some other person, J is adding the same line. Then what happens? There is a conflict between the changes done by me and J. So this must be resolved, and so that conflict will be checked by the GitHub server itself. Now let's get back to original Surya Teja atnu. So this is where we are going to get, right? Let's refresh this. So it is saying that there is a pull request available. Now open the pull request. Okay. What is it saying? It has updated test.tst, which has been created from Surya 16695 to Surya Teja-atnu. Let's open this. We have to check whether the changes are done and the changes are neat. Okay, so we on clicking this, we can see what are the changes made. These are the changes made. Review changes. I'll just say approve. submit review. Now, I can directly merge pull request with this confirm merge. Okay, now what just happened? Whatever the work we done on some other GitHub account has been now reflected in the actual account which you are referring to. Guys, is this making any sense to you? Did you understand how the fork works?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
No,
Someone has doubts on this who asked me on call. See now the changes has been reflected here. Uh, who is that? Jay, right? Jayant. We had a call.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, is this clear, Jayant? This is what I asked you to do by entering your name in this. Okay.
Okay.
So you try this on your own and do it for tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how the fork works. Now let's get back to the whiteboard. So see here. So git clone and git fork are again remote commands which are used to copy a code and do some work on that particular code. But cloning is helpful to do the changes in our local system, whereas fork will help us do the changes in remote system alone. Okay, now what is the use of this git branch? What is the use of this git branch? Anyone, guys?
Or to change and add another git branch.
Okay, this has multiple uses. One is creating a branch, and we can also list branches. We can delete the branch and we can update the branch by using simple git branch. Okay, now what is this git checkout helps for? Git checkout.
To see
Checkout,
whether we are
switch
in
Just to
branch.
switch the branches.
Okay, so again, checkout is kind of helpful for us when you are working on a big project, because you will be creating your own small branch to work on the ticket which has been assigned to you. Again, ticket is work you're going to do with respect to your project. Okay, so once a ticket has been assigned, you have to create your own branch with that parent repository, and you have to check out from that branch, and then you have to start working. Once the work is done, what you'll do, you'll push the code and you'll raise a pull request from that particular branch you created to the origin branch or master branch. Okay, so these basic commands are pretty much enough for surviving with git. And if at all you want to go in deep, there are some other commands which you might require. I'll share the link. One second, I'll share the link with you in the chat. Okay, go to that link so that you can get a clear idea on what we can do with the git. Okay, so guys, if git, is there any doubts in git? Let's take 10 more minutes for git. If you have any doubts, just ask me so that it will be cleared once and for all.
तो जो आपने टर्मिनल में सॉरी जो आपने इसमें किया गिटहब में किया तो वो हम टर्मिनल पे भी कर सकते हैं ना?
किसके बारे में पूछ रहा है?
मतलब आपने जो फोक यूज किया ना, तो वो नेसेसरी है जो परमिशन जो देना?
1 second, I'll just complete that. Guys, I'm sending the link with respect to git. Open it in your another tab, which will be helpful for you to do some more work on git commands and git, how it works. Okay, and the doubt. So see here, fork is again a part of what to say, rigorous development. Once you're into developing stage, you want to do some changes to that folder, you'll do it fork. But again, if you have a local IDE such as IntelliJ or VS Code or some IDE to work on, it will integrate all the changes to your IDE. IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. What is that? IDE means integrated development environment. Okay, so all the changes will be made in the IDE, and this helps you to fork, push, and pull the code. Okay, IDE has its own extensions, and it will help you to do all these works in your local as well. But for now, creating a fork for your account, you can't create a fork to your own account. That part is clear, right? For your own account, that means, see here,
Yes,
let me,
yes, sir.
yeah, for your own account you can't create your own pull request. Okay, let me just go to home. Let's say this is my latest project of 25 days back, which was done by on by on. Okay, so if I try to fork, the fork doesn't get access. Why? Because cannot fork, because you own this repository and you're not a member. Okay, and now if any of you guys want to fork this particular project, you can do this by entering into my GitHub account, and you can do that, right? So fork is again a to-do work for somebody else to help you in developing your project. That's pretty much. Okay. So any doubts with respect to Git? Any other doubts?
So
So,
when some
so
One
sorry,
after the
go
other.
ahead.
One after the other. Yes. Who is going to talk? अरे बाबा कोई तो बात कर.
yeah.
Okay.
So if you are the user, you cannot fork it. That's what you're trying to say, right?
No.
Like
You are
if
the
you have.
creator.
Okay.
If you created that particular repository, you can't fork it.
Okay. So it's for somebody else, like a member of that
Yeah, for
group.
someone to help you with your development.
Okay. So what's the major difference between the fork and the cloning repository at the local? So
Okay.
we do that in the server,
Mhm.
and this we do in the local. Is that the difference?
That's the biggest difference.
All right. So during the process, can we prefer working at the fork, or do we do it at the local?
Again, once you are into an organization, a big organization where the code flow is totally in Git, you will do it through forking alone. But for initial stages, you will clone the code into your local repository, and for any updated changes, you will fork the code into IDE. Okay, again, that will be done by yourself once you have entered into the job. No need to worry about that. Okay.
All right.
And any other doubts? Someone have asked me another doubt. Who is that? If this Git is clear, we'll get back to web introduction. Hello. No doubt. Okay. Guys, okay. Someone is going to talk. Okay. No one. So I have sent you a link in the chat. Is that available to everyone?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah. Once open that link, if you have opened, raise your hands. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that link will help you with some basics with respect to Git. And Ronald, your doubts will be cleared by going through that sequence of steps. Most probably, those are the basic things which we do using Git. Unless until you are a DevOps guy, you won't require much of the commands. Okay.
So that link, it's also saying something Bitbucket, learn Git with Bitbucket Cloud.
Okay, again, I specified it previously, right? There are other alternatives for github.com, right? So the other alternatives are Bitbucket, which of course provided by Atlassian, and AWS Cloud Commit, which is name itself says provided by AWS or Amazon Web Services. And there are many other things, BitKeeper as such, but these are pretty famous for now. Okay, enterprise versions. That means they are totally into developers. Okay, is that clear?
So, sir, these are also version control systems.
Of course, yes. Alternatives in the sense they are also version control systems.
What's the difference between them and Git?
Pricing.
Should we download that? Because we need to download that to go through the tutorial.
No. Just go through the tutorial or the sequence of steps they are asking. Let me just. Oh, my screen is visible, right, to you all?
Yes, sir.
That Bitbucket is clear, visible. What is that visible to you?
Yeah, Bitbucket.
Okay. So see here. Let me just close this. Close this. Okay. So once you went into learn Git part, with Bitbucket Cloud, see the commands which are going to use are similar. Git clone, Git push, Git stat, all are same. But the medium which you're going to, the server which you're going to connect is going to be Bitbucket. Is that clear?
Okay.
Instead of connecting to github.com, you will be connecting to Bitbucket when it is Atlassian Bitbucket. But you don't need to connect to this particular Bitbucket. You have your own Git account. So go through this document and do some changes or do whatever you want to do in your github.com. Okay. Is that clear or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's get back to our guys, all of you can lower your hands. Okay, that's yeah. Okay, today's class is what? Can anyone specify?
Web architecture.
Web architecture, sir.
Architecture, or we can also say a web introduction. Okay, and guys, in this web introduction or web architecture, we won't be going deep into the terms like dynamic IP, and all such, TCP or IP. Okay, why? Because you'll be having a network class separately, and you'll get to know all these things in that particular class. No need to worry if you don't understand those terminologies. Okay, just a preface. Now, let's start. Web intro. Okay, let's start this as a kind of story. There are two friends. Let's say Ram, Ravan. Okay.
Screen.
Sir, your screen is screen.
Oh, one second, sorry. Okay, now it is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there are two friends called Ram and Ravan. Okay, Ram is good at making sweets. Good at making sweets. Okay, so Ravan is his friend. He saw his a bakery is working good. He saw his bakery or some sweet shop working good. So Ravan is an IT developer, IT dev. So what he thought of is instead of making Ram to sell his sweets from his sweet shop, why don't we make it online? What does he thought? Why don't we just make it online? So he asked Ram for making a website. Okay, so what he did is, as we all do, he started coding. He coded all the website and started the website in his system. That means in his laptop where he has coded. Okay, initially there are 10 orders, which is a good start for an early website, and it has been increased to 1,000 orders. Okay, in some period of time. What just happened is this system or laptop which he is using is now failed to work because of more inputs. Okay, so before getting into this particular problem solution, we have to see started the website, right? We have to see how the website communication does, and then we'll get back how this sweet business is working fine in future. Okay, now let's see. So our main question is website. So have you ever wondered why once you press something on the search bar, you will be redirected to that particular page or that particular things related to the page, right? How is it working? Have you ever checked it once in a while? Did you ever try to check that?
Do you mean the keywords?
No. What I meant to say is, let's say I want to search for anime. Okay. So when I search enter, it is going to give me some, of course, the topmost pages, whatever it is, by using some algorithms, SEOs as such, right? So have you ever wondered how it is going to render this page? Or else if I press enter on anime, Wikipedia, it is going to load me some page, right? How this data is being exchanged? Have you ever checked about that? Again, my question is not clear,
No,
right?
sir, no.
No.
Okay, you haven't checked, or my question is not clear?
So you're
Both.
telling this
No.
data every day updating like that.
Okay, cool. What I'm trying to say here is you have searched for something and you have got something to see. Okay, so have you checked what made this something happen? How this something happened to us? Like, how can we see this Wikipedia page just on a click of search bar? That's what my question is.
No, sir.
IP address.
Not really, sir.
Okay,
Maybe it's the path that is given to this, just like we have on our computers. When we open my computer and go to files and all those things, it will give us a path.
Okay, one answer is good. And any other answers?
It will have multiple copies like DSN servers and all.
DNS, not DSN. Okay.
I would like to request something to all the team members. I am not from a coding background. I don't know anything about programming or coding. This is my first class. So you guys have been using terms which are like total jargons for me. I don't understand. I have to Google it and then understand, and then
Okay.
come back to this class to understand.
Rahul, take
Yeah.
a deep breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here to do that same thing, right? I'm here to help you in that terminologies. Okay, no need to worry about that. If you are facing any issues, just ping me in the chat or let me know at that instant so that I'll make it a little bit simpler or easier to understand. Okay. Don't get that jargon thing making you whatever it is. Okay. Fine. So now, see here. So initially, let's say, let us go with the google.com alone. Okay. So this is what initial page where every set starts, right? So this is known as the terms which has been assigned in these two dots, in between these two dots is known as URL. So what is the full form of URL? Guys, what is the
Yes,
full
sir.
form of URL?
Universal resource locator.
Exactly. No, it is not universal. It is uniform resource
Sorry, yeah, uniform.
locator. Okay, what is it? Uniform resource locator. Okay, the name itself says, right? So whatever you're going to see, let's say we are going to have www.youtube.com or so and so w.amazon.com. Okay, or .in. All these are called as websites, whereas the whole thing which you are going to type in the search bar is known as URLs. URLs is nothing but uniform resource locator. That is, by using this particular words which we are going to give, it is going to fetch the data for from us. Sorry, fetch the data for us from somewhere else. Okay, just think for now. Just think it as on pressing this, it is going to this particular words are going to get us data from somewhere else. Okay, for now. Now see here. Let us see the parts of this, and we'll see it. So www, these three W's refer to World Wide Web. Okay, just a connection for represents it is going to be a worldwide search bar, search something kind of thing. Okay, so it is quite common to each and every link or URL which you are going to provide, it will be having www as its prefix. And whatever it is there, google.com, youtube.com, amazon.com, these are known as domain names or simply domain. What are these called as? Domain. Okay, are these terminology as of now clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So now see here. So how the communication happens? There is so let's say you are having the system and you are working on this, or else simply browsing on system. This system is now connected to a Wi-Fi router. Okay. So what happens whenever you press something in the search bar and press enter? What happens is it will now send this request to the to your remote server, or we can say that as your Wi-Fi router. Okay, which assigns okay, this is again going into too technical part, I guess, right? Let me just give you a simple part. Again, with respect to these routers and all, you'll get to know. No need to worry about as it is now. Okay. So now let's say, let me just give you a simple example. User, browser. Oh, wow. What a rhyming, right? User and browser. So let's say, let us think that this is some Chrome browser. So now I have asked the browser for www.google.com. Okay, so now what the browser must return to me? It must return some web page which is respect to www.google.com. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
A page with HTML, CSS, JS. We'll get to see all these things. What are these? We'll know. We'll see in few minutes. Okay, just don't get panic as of now. Okay, now what happens here? Once we send this request to the browser, okay, whatever you are sending, these are called request. These are called request. What the user asks someone to do is a request, and the data that is sent by the browser is known as response. This is quite same in every aspect. Okay. Now, web browser will ask another server for the IP address of this particular google.com. So now what is it doing? It is asking for DNS server. DNS is nothing but domain name server. Okay, so what browser do? Browser will send this www.google.com to DNS server. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, before going into the next part, let's see what is IP address is. If I ask anyone at random, what is your address? What you'll say, guys? Let's say I'm going to ask Jay, what is your address?
Bangalore, like you want the street name?
Postal address.
Okay.
Okay, give me some random address. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't do.
Okay, number 69.
Yeah.
Ashtalakshmi layout.
Yeah, 69 some layout.
Okay, JP Nagar 6th phase.
JP Nagar with something and Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Karnataka. Okay, so this is what the address where J live, right? So if I want to communicate with J, if I can go to this particular address, I can communicate. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. And again, instead of typing all these things, if I can give you an alternative saying that J's address. Okay. So in this, I have this particular, whatever the address is available with respect to J's name. So this word J's address is going to be the domain name. Okay. If at all I ask, I search for J's address, what it will do is it will directly give me this particular address so that we can go to this address and we can communicate. Okay. In the same way, IP address is also an address for each and every website. Okay, what is this? It is nothing but what is IP?
Internet protocol.
Exactly, Internet protocol. Okay, so Internet protocol address. Protocols are again, there are different works which we can do based on a call we make. Okay, in the same way, by using this Internet protocol, we'll have an address. Let's say you might have seen this, right? 10.10.10.10 or some 8.8.8.8 as such.
Yes, sir.
Okay, these are all known as IP addresses. Again, there are two different kinds, IPv4, IPv6. You'll get to know this about this later. Don't worry about this now. Okay, so now there, just for instance, remember that IP address is similar to your door number address for a website. So each and every website will be having this particular IP address. So where do I get this IP address? By just having the name. Okay, so in order to provide the IP address of this particular website, DNS server will help us to get the IP address. In DNS server, DNS is nothing but what? Domain name server will have IP addresses stored. Okay. Now, when I send this www.google.com, it will give the output as some IP address which is being assigned to that particular URL. Is it making any sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we just did is still we don't have the data. We just don't have any data here. We just had address to communicate with the website. Address to aa gaya, ab communication karna hai. Now browser uses this particular IP address and connects to the server. Okay, server is again what? This is again internet connectivity. Let's say a huge computer. In simple words, what is a server? A huge computer which can hold much more data and has a lot to do with it, deal with it. Okay, so now browser will send this IP address 8.8.8.8 to the server. Now server understands only addresses. It doesn't understand any domain names or URLs. Okay, so once we send this IP address with some port ID, What is this port ID? We'll see in a second. Okay, just see. Now, once this whole address has been sent, the server will recognize, oh, okay. So this is J, they are trying to establish connection to J. Now what it will do is it will send the details of that particular web page in the form of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All the files which are to be required for that web page to be loaded have now sent as a response to the browser. Okay, now browser have the data to display for the user. Now it will display the whole page. Okay, this is how a communication across a browser will work. Is it making any sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Guys, any doubts? Just put it out now itself, because going down, your brain will be washed out. Okay, just put it down now itself. Whatever
Can you
the doubt you
repeat?
have.
Can you just repeat the cycle that we just did?
Okay, you want to take a look on it? Just
No. It just from user we go to the browser.
Yes.
Can you just repeat that process?
Okay, this is the first process. From user, a request is made to the browser. Okay, and browser, another request is made to the DNS server. This is second request. Okay, and DNS will check in its database or in its data what is the user trying to do. Okay, he wanted to access to this particular website URL, so it will give the IP address connecting to that particular URL. Okay, in DNS, let's say Google has many IP addresses. Okay, if you want to find a Google IP addresses, you can go into your terminal and you can write this command: ping www.google.com. This will give the IP address of Google and also how the data will be transferred from one server to the other, or one domain to the other with respect to packets. Okay, so how data is being transferred.
So
this can be viewed by using this ping space www. Any website can be given ping space website name.
Sir, that 8.8.8 is Google IP address, no sir?
अरे यार मैं तो example में दिया था.
No, really that one is 8.8.8.
No, there are multiple IP addresses. 8.8.8.8 is also one of the addresses of Google.
Sir, who control the DNS server?
Sir, how can there be a multiple address of Google?
Again, Imtiaz Ali, no account or no website will have a single IP address. Okay, so if you search Google, also it is going to return google.com, Google so and so, right?
Doesn't the client get confused?
Okay, where you are getting confused?
No, the client. When the client searches the IP address in DNS, doesn't it get confused? There are multiple IP
Client,
addresses.
it is already, it is happening in backend. No user will know what is happening in DNS, what is happening in server. He will just see, once he typed this www.google.com, he is getting a page. That's pretty much which user can see. This is all a designed part. Okay, between this DNS and all, there will be router. Okay, and also router will be playing a major part, and data dividing devices will be there, which will in router you will be having IP address setup, static IP, dynamic IP. Okay, if you get into that deep shit, you'll get confused. Okay, after 2.5 months, you'll be having network classes where you'll be discussing each and every term in detail.
Okay, sir.
No need to worry about it as of now. Just overview of how this thing works. Okay, so we already know that google.com's IP address is that, right? 8.8.8.8. Let's see what it is going to return. यार कितना देर ले रहा है?
It thinks you're trying to hack it.
Okay. but most probably no one gives IP addresses for communicating. Okay, in general way. Let's see what it is going to load.
I think 8.8.8.8 actually is one of Google's DNS servers.
IP address, basically.
Yes, yes.
In DNS, this is being stored with respect to Google. Okay, if you search for a Facebook IP address, you can also get the Facebook IP address. What is this? 69.63.176.30. Let's just copy it and check whether Facebook is all thinking that we are going to hack. Luckily, it is written the same. Facebook Inc. United States. Got it. There will be multiple IPs for each and every website, depending on what they are going to provide. Okay, based on the output. Let's say if you are searching for a name, you're going to get different. Okay, let me give you an example. So, okay, before getting into that, is this part clear? Browser communication part.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Okay, clear. Ask your doubt.
Sir, actually,
your voice is not audible.
Oh, sir.
Yep.
So we have some millions and millions of websites, right?
Some names and
some millions of websites, right?
Yes.
So how can they give us in numbers itself, sir?
That's the reason nowadays we have see for region it will be based on initial regions, and now it will again you're taking me to networks topic. Fine, I'll just give you a brief.
Okay.
IPv4, IPv6. There are two kinds of IP addresses available as of now.
Okay.
Okay, each number can provide you with, see, what is the biggest IP number that we can have that you have seen? Any IP address have you seen so far?
255.
Yep. Each can have 255.255.255.255. This is basically local DNS we are going to use. In your when you are configuring your Ethernet, you will be providing this DNS IP and all these things in your system. Okay. So at most, this is how this is what we are going to get from IPv4. But what people thought is, "Arey Baba, isse to kaam nahi hoga. It is not going to help us in future." So they have increased it to IPv6, where it can have almost 4 digits in each state. That means 2001 colon 4860 colon some as such kind. This is going to be IPv6 version, where it can provide many addresses with single single number. Just don't get confused with these numbers, okay? You'll get to know soon. Just think that there is IP address is just an address for communication with respect to website and with respect to user. Okay. Janateja, just don't get confused yourself.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Guys, still any other doubts?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. Clear. Hello, sir.
Huh. Puchiye.
Sir, who control the DNS server?
Okay, DNS server is not at all controlled. It is already predefined. Your router will be accessing that particular DNS actually.
Okay.
And guys, have you ever configured DNS? Sorry, not DNS. Your IP address or your TCP service in your system by Ethernet?
No, sir.
Or through LAN cable I'm saying about. If you do that, you'll get to know what are all these things that are being happening. Okay. Fine. Now let's get back to the topic. So this is how the communication takes place. Now we are going to the sale part. Website तो आ गया. अभी क्या है बाकी?
Sir,
Uh-huh.
our own system only, the DNS only, no, sir?
Not in your system. It is like a virtual thing.
Sir, you have Ubuntu, I think, right? Sorry
Again,
to interrupt.
yeah, Javed, what is it?
Yes, yes. Actually, you can do one thing, sir.
Mhm.
You just need to install a tracer out. So you
Okay.
just need to run a command. Yes, it's gonna be very easy. So just
You are regarding config. You're saying the type to configure.
regarding these IP addresses, everything. I mean, we can check that. It's gonna be very helpful, and we're gonna understand it very well.
Okay. Guys, you can also check what is your IP address of your system. You're asking Javed, you're asking me to send them the link of how they
No,
can find the IP.
no, sir. Just do one thing. Just run a command sudo.
1 second.
On your terminal.
Is my screen getting shared? Bolo.
Sudo space apt.
Sudo apt. Next.
Yeah, space install.
What you're trying to install?
Space tracer route. TRACEROUT.
Tracer.
Yes,
Tracer
tracer route.
route. So what is it going to do?
Install it, sir.
अरे बाबा पहले बोलो क्या वो क्या करते हैं
So
वो?
we can check. See one thing. After the tracer route, if we're gonna give it a domain or something, so it's gonna show us everything because what
This
happens
can be done in with respect to this also, right? Let me just say ping facebook.com. So or just giving here, it is also giving the IPv6 address and also the data which is being exchanged between Facebook and mine. Doesn't it going to work? I need to install something else.
Let's check it. Click on the API of that Facebook.
IP
because
of
once we will click on it, it should open it because on the internet. So what happens on the internet? It converts. I mean the IP addresses to these domain names.
Okay, so you are fixed to. Okay, fine. Let me just try again. Let me add a sudo command. Yes. Sudo apt, because this is doesn't require for this class. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Sudo apt install tracer out.
OUT, I think is
OUT.
OUT. Yes.
OUTE.
Yes.
Trace route, Baba.
Trace
Fine.
route.
Okay, now.
Now this type trace route. Space google.com. Anything, I mean Facebook or google.com.
These are all the possible IP addresses which it is giving.
Yeah, and the first one, the IP address like 142. I can't see that the first one, like 142.5067.
See,
this would be the actual IP address of Google. So once you click on that IP address, it will redirect you to the google.com.
Okay, see, if I say all these things, they will exit the class now itself. It will confuse them, it will override them. Okay. Guys, chill. No need to worry about all these things. Okay. You will be getting it shortly. After 2 months, after Python is done, you'll be having a network class for a week or so. You'll be dealing with all these IP addresses and packages which you're going to use. And Javed, yes, of course, it is going to be first one is the IP address of Google. Second one is my router address. Okay. And third one is again, it is regarding my connection with is all happening here, right? And these are all V6 versions which is providing here. So anything you want to add for this, so that I'll just close this thing.
No, you are just saying that because on the IP address of Google that you are showing that it's DNS of it, it or something like that. So
Yes,
it was
yes,
not accessed. So once you will, it will give us the specific IP address. The IP address could be only one. I mean,
no, let me just show me. Like, let me just show you here. Okay, Control B. So this is initial Google account which you are referring to, right? So if I search for universal IP of Google, what I'm referring is universal IP of Google. That means IP google.com. It is IP of so basically what it will say is this is my IP address. It is what it is referring to, and not mine. This is for Google.
DNS.
Yeah, DNS IP address. Okay, that means DNS is going to provide 8.8.8 as IP address to the web browser. Isn't it that it is referring to, Javed?
Yeah, I think so because
yes, that is what happening. So if we do this discussion for a minute more, okay, we'll discuss it at the end of the class. Just
sir, this thing we can do it later.
Yeah, that's what I'm stopping this, Dinesh. Okay, let me get back. So once this communication part is done, now let's get back to that halwai question. So kya ho gaya? His friend Ravan has prepared the website, right? Now that website part has all the odds and all, right? Now Ram has got some doubt. Ram asked Ravan saying that, Are Baba, you have built some website and I'm getting some orders with respect to 10 to 1000 in between. Okay, so what is this website and what does this website consist of? His question to Ravan. So Ravan says website is nothing but, one second, website is nothing but a sync or a composition of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and some server side language. Okay, so now if we compare these with respect to our body, okay, HTML is called as hypertext markup language, which is not a language, but it is used to script and design your skeleton of web page. Skeleton of web page. Okay, now CSS is cascade style sheets. Okay, now these cascade style sheets or CSS help us to do makeup like colors, fonts, formats. All these things will be coming under CSS thing. Okay, now next system, JavaScript, or simply called as JS. JS is a nervous system. We can define it as nervous system. Why? Whatever we are going to do, it will be communicated with respect to JS file, and it will generate an output in the for the user. See, this is again functionality of website. I'm saying functionality contains all these things, and server side, for example, Node.js. Okay, this is going to be our brain, or simply we can say a memory store. Okay, what is the purpose of brain? It's kind of a memory storage part also, right? So we are comparing the server with respect to this memory store. So if you have all these together, then it will be comprised as a website. Okay, altogether forms a website. Is this clear, guys? Website, what is happening in the website?
Sir, Node.js is database.
No. Node.js is not a database. It's a server-side script language.
Okay.
Server side. And server can have database in it. Server can have some functionalities in it. Okay, you'll get to know once you are into backend part. So now all these three, HTML, CSS, or JavaScript together, called as front end, or simply what a user can see. Okay, whereas server side is going to be backend, which is not required for the user understanding. Okay, so for this front end, there are for developing a website, we have many ways, like using WordPress. Have you heard of WordPress?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is
Yes.
simply a drag and drop kind of thing where you know what to do in your website. Let's say I want a search bar in this corner. What you just do is you have to drag search bar from the components and just place it here. Done. This kind of development for a website in WordPress, which is again uh, not up to the mark for huge applications where the users are going to be in thousands to lakhs or even above. Okay, in that case, WordPress is going to fail. Why? The accessibility of this is remained to small set of people or limited set of people. And also that we have MERN stack, mean stack. Okay, you're all here to learn this, right? MERN stack. MERN refers to what? Can anyone elaborate the acronym? Or what is the acronym of MERN? M stands for?
It's a complete, it's MongoDB, Express.js.
Mongo, E for
Express. The framework for Node.js.
Yes,
It's
and
React.
R for React, and N for Node. Express and Node are kind of backend, and React is for front end, and MongoDB is for database services. Similarly, in this mean stack, A stands for Angular. Okay, A stands for Angular. So not only this, we can have backend other than these. Let's just get back to the part. For backend, we can have multiple languages like Java using Spring Boot as such, and Python. Python का backend language क्या है? कुछ पता है?
Django and Flask, I think.
Yeah, Django and Flask. Okay, and these are most frequently used and also comparative with respect to MERN and Bean stack. Development and implementation is easier in MERN stack, whereas a little bit trickier with respect to Java and Python frameworks. Okay, so now that is what a website going to look like. Now, okay, now let's see. Now Ravan has cleared the doubt of Rama with respect to how a website is going to be built. Next, but unfortunately, the system where his code is working on, that is nothing but his laptop, who is hosting for 10 to 100 customers, is now failed due to some reason. So Ravan called Ram saying that Baba mere system kharab ho gaya and now I can't generate any online orders. Okay, so now Ram asked, is there any other alternative for providing my website running continuously? So what you think the alternative is?
Service providers.
Exactly. There are two ways which we can do. One is vertical, or I just don't want to go into this. One is by increasing the number of systems, or second way is by buying a big system. Again, buying a big system can also face some issues with respect to this. Okay, so all these works of providing a system or extra resource is now being done by cloud providers. Okay, so what are cloud providers? Famous cloud providers under your name thoughts? Any cloud providers?
AWS.
Of course, AWS and
Microsoft.
Azure and
Microsoft.
that's what Azure is. Next.
Yeah, Firebase.
Firebase is upcoming but not yet producing this. Instead of this, we can call GCP. Firebase is just a database. Okay, it is not a service provider.
Well, we can host our sites on that.
But
Firebase.
not up to a biggest mark. Okay, it can be used for small hostings where mobile applications can be hosted. I used it for mobile applications basically, Firebase, as a data storage and also for hosting. But it is totally going to come under GCP alone. Javed,
Map also now.
what is that?
Yeah.
Map.
Spell it.
MAP.
MAP. Okay, this is new to me. Okay, who is the provider of map?
I think Microsoft.
Okay. Oh, Microsoft Azure process. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, fine.
Can you tell us what is the limitation of hosting on like a home server? Like how many users approx, something like that?
No, we can't say that. Again, see, how far your system can scale is totally unpredictable. Like it can be predictable, but still, prediction can be done based on your size of code, number of persons you're attracting, number of users accessing your website per minute, and how far your data is being exchanged. Let's say Facebook. There are 1 billion people actively present in Facebook, whereas some accounts, some number is there. Let me just check. Always there will be two kinds of settings. One is active users and users who create an account and nominally uses that, who is active throughout. Okay, so again, they generate the whole data exchange, right? So depends upon the data packets or data which you exchange. Let's say active users are 1 billion people. How many? 1 billion people. And 1 million people are exchanging, or each one is uploading one picture each in just a minute. Okay, so how many pictures will be uploaded in minute in Facebook by active users? It is 1 billion, right? So your traffic, so this is called as traffic. Okay, so your website traffic will be assessed by number of transactions done by the user, and then the pricing will be done. Okay, initially what you think is, initially Ram, when it is considered to Ram and Ravan, they think that अरे बाबा चलो हमको 1000 customers मिले तो बस. Okay, so now they'll pay for 1000 customers interaction. If it has now increased to another big number, 10,000, what they will do, these cloud services ask them to pay for 10,000 customers. If they increase, they'll ask to pay for increased number. Okay, so this is why nowadays cloud is at its boom, because pay whatever you use is a slogan they are using for just to attract and save the money and data exchange throughout the world. Okay, and most of the reason, this is the biggest reason why companies want to shift their whole cloud to whole services or websites to the cloud. Okay, so this is how they're going to buy this. And again, so for domain names, we have some recent things like GoDaddy, Hostinger. Nowadays it is getting famous, right? as such, they'll provide us with the domain names which we want to keep for our website. That means, let's say suryatute.com as such. So if I want to get this done, I have to go to this particular website and check whether this is available. And if it is available, I can have it and I can pay for whatever it is going to be charged. Okay. So this is how a simple website will be working in your browser from the start to the end. Any doubts, guys? Technical parts like IP, V6, IP, for all this will be covered. TCP, network layers, all this will be covered in your network class, which is going to be from 2 months from now on. Okay, no need to worry about that thing. Cool, right? So any doubts, just fire it, or else I'll raise the MCQs and we can call it a day after MCQs.
Yes, we can start with the MCQs now.
I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Some big companies like Google, do they use these cloud providers, or they manage their own private?
No. They are the cloud. That means, see, why this cloud came into existence is, here in this case, Arey Baba, isko close kar denge. 1 second, let me just close this part. Here in this example, Ram and Ravan, in order to increase his business, either he have to increase multiple laptops, right? Or he have to increase a big machine. Instead of doing this, Google is doing this particular provision of multiple systems by creating servers. Have you ever saw the picture, like, have you ever seen in the movies, like if say server room?
Yes, sir.
So these are all how the server rooms looks like. Initially, in the
racks.
Yeah, in the previous days, every company, every software company used to maintain these server rooms in their basements or somewhere. Okay, and they used to function their websites through these server rooms. Now this has been changed. Here, each panel which you are seeing is a computer. Each thing which you are seeing is a computer. So there can be many millions of computers, or maybe, sorry, let's say thousands of computers in a single server room. Each works to store, assess, and provide some data to the user. So instead of maintaining this infrastructure, okay, the cloud providers has now created a service called infrastructure as a service, where they provide systems, or sorry, number of computers or number of servers you require, and you are going to pay for that. Did you get the point?
Yes, sir, I got it.
Yeah. Let's start some MCQs. If you have any doubts, you can talk. No problem. अरे भाई सबका अकाउंट एक्टिवेट हो गया? 1 second. सबका अकाउंट एक्टिवेट हो गया?
No, sir.
Not yet, sir.
अरे उसके बारे में तो बात करो. Clear करो. Clear those things. Talk to management and clear those things.
सर वो सिक्योरिटी चेक मांग रहे हैं. 50,000 का कुरियर करने का बोल रहे हैं. तभी आपका अकाउंट एक्टिवेट होने वाला है.
Okay. So talk to them and resolve it as soon as possible. Okay.
Yes, sir. सर तब तक प्रेजेंट लगेगी क्या नहीं?
तब तक
प्रेजेंट लगेगी क्या नहीं लगेगी?
If your account is guys, mute yourself. All of you, mute. So if your account is deactivated, you don't have any attendance.
Sir, can I say something?
Yeah, it's an open world. Come on.
Sir, they told me that till your account is deactivated, you don't have to worry about attendance. The attendance will be count after your account getting activated. They told me today only.
Okay. So, okay, you guys have the clarity on your accounts, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
No
Yes,
problem
sir.
with that then. Why? Because there are 25 people attending the session, but 14 or 15 marking the attendance. And those people are asking me why the less in count.
Sir, most of the problem check issue, sir. Yesterday, my sir told. Yesterday, sir
Okay.
told and called for this, sir.
Got it.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, in network classes, OSPF also covers, sir.
You'll be covering. Okay, one second. Let me get back to curriculum. There are multiple things to be covered. Okay. Sorry. Let me show you. Zoom. Screen share. Stop. So see here. Now web architecture is done, right? So is the screen getting shared?
Yes.
Yeah. So later on Python will be started. So all the courses for Python will be till some 6 weeks. Oh no, still more. So till so 14 weeks, day 2, you'll be having Python. And from there on, operating system will start. System 1, system 2, system 3. That means you'll have the basics on OS. Not again, not in-depth knowledge. You'll know what you want to know or what you should know. That's it. Which is pretty much useful for you to handle interviews and to know the basics of mm, OS and all. And network system design, these are all the things which you'll get to know in core CSC. Okay.
Can you share the structure?
I think that will be shared to you guys. This is my GitHub account. I created those things.
So you'll be dealing with the Python, is it, from next week on?
Most probably, if all goes good.
Okay, yes. In the Python, what will be included apart from the basics? Any big? I mean, I'm not getting. I mean, what will be included in the Python? So
Again, what will be included in the sense it is like
I
see
mean,
basic.
are
Let's
we
say
gonna do any web development work?
no, Python doesn't involve in web development. You'll be using Node, Express. You're just going to learn MERN, MERN, MERN stack. Python is just for coding challenges or to know some language to be working on. Okay.
Python is related to machine learning, na?
Again, that is an extensive use of Python.
Can you get back to the part where you were talking about the HTML, JS, and CSS?
Yes. What's your doubt in that?
Can I move the page? Can you share the screen?
1 second. I'm trying to write an MCQ. I'll just do that once it is done. Okay. Just a silly MCQ is up, guys. Guys, I'm going to give Git MCQs. I don't know much of the MCQs are available on today's topic. Okay. So I'll be going to Git. You guys are answering the MCQs.
So did you put making intentionally?
Yeah, I
The
don't know.
MCQ?
I just don't get it what to do in that case to write an MCQ on today's topic, because we just discussed what is what. That's it, right? It's not pretty much. I just intentionally put that. Okay,
So
second
one
MCQ is up.
MCQ is listed. Okay.
Sir, can you share the MCQ screen after 4 MCQs complete?
Again, I don't get you. What's your doubt? Hello, what's your doubt?
Hello.
Yeah.
After 4 MCQ complete, can you share the screen MCQ of MCQs?
Yeah, sure.
For those people who account is deactivated.
Yeah. Okay, third MCQ is up. Guys, fourth MCQ is up. Oh, sorry. Let me just guys, that question is which is not a valid IP address. Not a valid. Which is a valid is wrong, which is not a valid IP address. Again, the question is which is not a valid IP address. Okay. Repeating, which is not a valid IP address. I forgot to write. What is that?
Understood.
Question is which is not a valid IP address. So these are the 4 questions which I have given. Guys, I'm sharing the screen, and these are the 4 questions which I have given. W3 schools का लिंक अच्छा रहता है. This link will help you to understand the basic of Python. Okay, I have created the attendance, guys.
Sir, the first one question is not showing.
First one question is this.
Okay.
How many have you? 83. Some of them kept true. And in this, yeah, 83%. D, still D. Come on.
Can we discuss MCQ?
Okay. So for discussing, let's start here. I just intentionally make this markup into making language, so it is false. Even that has been wrong by some of people. Okay, fine. So we just created a new file home.html, which are the following. We'll add file so that we can commit it in Git. So initially, what the question is about is he is asking us to create. Sorry, he's asking us which command will help us add the file to the repo in local repo. So what is the command? Git add and file name. So it is going to be answer A. Okay, so most of us marked it correct. Good. So now, which is not a cloud service provider? AWS is a cloud service provider. Azure is a cloud service. Google Cloud Platform is a cloud. Git is not a cloud service provider. So answer is yeah. Okay. So again, guys, Google Cloud Platform is a cloud service provider. Fine. So now, which is a valid IP address? Valid IP address in this case is IP address must have 4 numbers in it, followed by 3 dots. 12.1.13.4. So this is a valid. So here it is valid, and here it is valid, but here there are only 3 numbers. So it is not a valid IP address. Answer is B.
What is the format for the valid IP address?
Of course, IP address will be having 4 different numbers in it, separated by 3 different dots. Sorry, 3 dots. That is the reason 8.8.8.8, right? There are 4 8s in it with 3 dots. Okay, no need to worry about this as of now. You will get a clear idea on once you get into networks part.
So it should have a minimum of 4 digits. That's what you're trying to say.
4 numbers, not 4 digits.
Okay,
IP address is a combination of 4 numbers. Okay. 12 is a number, 1 is a number, 13 is a number, and 4 is a number. Okay.
Sir, D also a IP address?
Yes, D also an IP address because 255 is a number, 255 is also a number, 0 and 0 are 2 different numbers.
But sir, I think that is subnet mask or something.
Even that subnet mask is also an IP.
Okay.
Yeah. You will get to know all these terms, okay? Subnet mask address, all these things. Just a basic view of networks will be given in those 2 days of curriculum. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can stay or you can leave.
Yeah, can you move to that page? We're talking about HTML.
I forgot. One second, I'm going. Okay, I'm here. Where you want to go?
We're talking about the nervous system, the skeleton.
Yes.
Yeah. So these 3, the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, form the front end, right?
Yes.
So these three alone are enough, or do we have add-ons for the front end?
To simplify the work made by HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, we have created frameworks, which are nothing but React, Angular. Okay. So all these things work are simply, we can say, an extension of extension combination of all these HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
So we'll be learning all these three
Of
numbers.
course, of course, you will be starting with these three, and then you will extend it to React.
Okay. So we'll be doing Node.js.
And of course, Node and Express will be taught to you.
Okay. All right.
Is that it, Ronald?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You stay back and Ronald, just stay for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and others can leave once you're done with the marking attendance. All of you, if you are done with things, you can leave.
Yeah, Surya, just want to add one thing.
Yes, Jayant.
So with that front end, actually, I think the reason HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, especially because they are, I think, browser executable. Is that right?
No, by using those three alone, we can develop a website. A minimal functional website can be developed by using those three alone. Because every website doesn't require a backend, right? It doesn't require a database to store some values. There are some static websites which just like blogs, which will just show us a content and nothing to be done in that. Okay, for those things, we require just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is also for loading some small content, some small works on that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So with respect to the attendance, can you help me with the attendance?
Regarding
the attendance. So whom do we coordinate regarding this attendance? Do you have any idea about that?
Raise a ticket if you are facing any issue. They will talk to you. No need to wait for
Yeah, I've
someone
already
else.
raised a couple of tickets. Got a reply, the response through email, but I haven't got a call.
I have sent you a message, my number, right? I'll end this class. We'll talk on something. Like we'll talk for a minute or two after the class. Okay.
Yeah, sure. You'll call me, or do you want me to call you?
I have given you the number, right? I don't have your number.
Okay, I'll call you. All right.
Yeah. So, guys, with respect to attendance or any queries you have with respect to your fees, sorry, your blockage of the account, make sure talk to the people and get it done as soon as possible. Okay. Okay. If there is no doubt, can I end this day and end this class?
Just 1 second. I'll copy a number.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hello.
Who is speaking? Dinesh, right?
Yes, sir. Your phone number?
I think I called you, right, Dinesh? I haven't called you.
No, sir.
Yeah, I'll be calling you tomorrow. No problem in that. But for Ronaldo, his number is not reachable today, so I have given him the number. That's it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow for just talk on how is it going on. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yep. Thank you, folks.